Hey, it's Callan from Integral Lifestyle Design. Today I want to talk to you about how your emotions are like the weather. This is a really interesting sort of analogy or simile that I use in my own life to balance myself, and I find that it's extremely powerful. So I think something that masculine beings get wrong is being sucked into their emotions, especially negative emotions. So they're feeling something and they're identifying as being that feeling. So say if you're angry, there's that feeling of I am angry. If you're depressed, there's that feeling of I am depressed. It's associating yourself with a certain emotion. Now this comes from Buddhism, what I'm going to talk about, but it's basically looking at your emotions more like weather, right? So if it's sunny outside, it's a matter of fact, right? If the sun's out, you can look outside and you can see that the sun's out. If it's raining outside, you can look outside and see that it's raining. If it's snowing, you can see it's snowing. If there's a thunderstorm, you can see that it's a thunderstorm. The thing that doesn't change in this scenario is you. You're observing this. You're observing the sun. You're observing the rain, so on, so on. So what I want to tell you to do is to look at your emotions like this. So instead of being sucked into them, being like, I'm happy and being fully happy or being fully sad or so on, so on, instead of feeling that, to be able to step out of that if you need to, and to be aware that emotions are just like the weather. So if you're happy, instead of being I'm happy, just understand there is happiness. If you're sad, instead of identifying with it and feeling I am sad, step out of it and see it and say there is sadness, right? Any emotion, you can look at it like this. Obviously, sometimes it's fun to get sucked into the emotions and to be in the moment. Obviously, that's a great thing. For the most part, a lot of people are like that in their lives, right? Especially feminine beings. Feminine beings thrive from being in their emotions. They thrive from feeling them fully, right? When masculine beings, sure, that's important. You have to be able to feel your feelings, but you also have to control them, right? So if you're feeling depressed or sad or whatever, it can't impact how you go about your day. If you're feeling bad about yourself and you need whatever you need, you still need to basically go through life. Say if you're going to the gym, if you wake up one day and you feel happy, you go to the gym. If you wake up the next day, you feel happy, you go to the gym. Then one day you wake up and you feel really depressed and miserable, some people won't go to the gym, right? Because they're identifying, I'm depressed, I'm not going to go to the gym, right? Instead of looking at it like, oh, it's raining outside, I'm going to the gym anyway. It's sunny outside, I'm going to the gym. So I think it's a really powerful paradigm shift to look at emotions, and instead of saying, I am this, I'm feeling this, instead of doing that, to basically say, there is this. There is currently, in my awareness, there is happiness. In my awareness, there is sadness. In my awareness, there is depression. And that fundamental difference will have a huge impact on your life. Okay, very quick video today because there's a lot going on, but I'm committed to making one every day. I just want you to keep that analogy. Emotions are like weather, and I want you to see that when you're feeling something, when there's an intense negative emotion, to have that sort of stoic lens, or the lens of it actually comes from Buddhism. Like they say it's from Stoicism, but the Buddhists have been doing this for hundreds of years before the Stoics ever talked about it. Basically to identify emotions and say, there is this emotion right now in my consciousness, right now there's some anger in here, so and so. But a masculine being is going to be able to control those. There's basically 3 layers to feeling your feelings, right? The first layer is basically you're like a child. So you just completely feel like what you feel. If you're angry, you lose control and you completely surrender to that anger. If you're happy, you're completely in that happiness and you're not aware of what other things are going on. If you fall in love, you're like fully blinded by that love and you don't see any red flags and you're just fully immersed in the emotions. You're riding the emotions like a roller coaster, right? That's the first layer. It's like this childish way to feel your feelings. It's just to fully feel them, not to sort of look at them whatsoever. Then what a lot of masculine beings do is they move into a level of blocking their feelings. But I don't want to feel sad or angry or this or that. So they try and numb themselves. And this is that cliche, stereotypical toxic masculinity where people numb themselves and they can't feel their feelings anymore. So they might not feel the negative feelings as much, or they might suppress them, which is even worse. But they also don't feel the positives. You know, they're never happy, they're never joyous. They're just like these bricks, like these brick walls. They don't really have much of a personality. That's the second layer. The third layer is being able to feel your emotions fully and understand that they're there, but to accept them. So say the difference is, if you're analyzing weather, if it's sunny outside, maybe you love sunny days and you hate rainy days, right? So the sun's out, it's all good. When it rains, you feel really angry and annoyed and all these feelings come up, right? The difference here is that you learn to be content with the weather regardless of what it's doing. And you understand that whatever is happening is going to be temporary, because change is a consistent thing. Things will always change. So if it is sort of messing with you, I want you to consider that. Now let's talk about your emotions. If you're feeling depressed, there's this way of labeling yourself, of saying, I am depressed, when that's not true. That depression is currently a part of you, it's a part of your consciousness, but it's not the entire you. So instead of saying, I am depressed, and labeling yourself with this thing, just identify there is depression, the same as there is rain or a storm outside. You might not like it, but you can accept it. You can say, there is depression. Okay, this is fine. I'm going to go about my day. I'm going to acknowledge this depression. I'm going to love myself regardless and heal and take the time to sort of feel it. But I'm not going to let it control me. I'm not going to let it take me out of my center. I'm not going to let it take me off my purpose. That's sort of the third layer of being able to completely feel your feelings, but also not being controlled by them, being able to drive them yourself. Yeah, it's a bit of an interesting topic, but this is how I personally do it. If I'm angry, it's not that I'm angry, it's that anger is a part of my consciousness, and there is anger. And I understand no matter what feeling it is, no matter how dark or how light, that feeling is going to be a temporary state, and eventually it'll shift into others. So yeah, quick video, peace out, enjoy the rest of your day. Use that analogy. If it helps you, let me know. It's something I use all the time. That comes from Buddhism. The Stoics use it too. And it's really, really powerful. Peace.